come, we'll discuss some of the very important topics from environment expected for your coming examination. Now this we would cover in two parts. This is the first part. Now the one is the COP27. Now COP27 talked about CBDR-RC, that is the principle of equity and common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities. So it is differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities. Very important to understand. Now India has laid down an equitable access to understanding the global carbon budget. So the global carbon budget, and how with the increasing temperature limits which have been set under the Paris Agreement, the limits that have been set by the Paris Agreement, how the countries can actually attain this carbon budget responsibly. The next is RAMSAR sites. India has around 75 RAMSAR sites which are wetlands. Now this is one of the largest in Asia and therefore extremely important. Ranganthithu in Karnataka, close to Mysore, Ashtamudi in Kerala, Wular Lake in Jammu Kashmir, we have Kanwar Jheel in Begusarai, similarly Sarsai Nawar in Uttar Pradesh. These are some of the common and popular RAMSAR sites. Now RAMSAR site is important. India, it commemorated in 1971 and India joined the convention in 1982, and so far there are 75 wetlands which have been restored, and the theme for this year is restoration of wetlands. So restoration of wetland is the basic theme for 2023 and the various actions are taken in the same line. The next is Summit Shikharji Parvat Kshetra. Now this is one of the major Jain pilgrimage. What was recently in news is important because this is part of the Parashnath Wildlife Sanctuary. Now Parashnath Wildlife Sanctuary, which is part of Jharkhand, is important because when it was established, it was part of the erstwhile Bihar in 1984, and this followed the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. This was declared as an eco-sensitive zone by Government of India in consultation with Government of Jharkhand in 2019 under the provisions of Environmental Protection Act 1986. Now this eco-sensitive zones are what? These are actually shock absorbers and they protect the area. They protect the area in terms of controlled, not to promote uncontrolled tourism in the area, not to promote all kind of developmental activities within the boundaries. And the clause 3 of the eco-sensitive zone actually mentions this. The surrounding area of the sanctuary and outside the boundary are demarcated separately and therefore was in news. The next is Ozone Day. Now 28th Ozone Day was celebrated recently. What is important, that ministry is calling for a mantra which is lifestyle for environment. For example, moving from private transport to public transport, using a staircase rather than lift. So it is changing our lifestyle for the benefit of the environment. It is called as mission life. Now this mission life in itself is an important topic for your examination point of view. Now under Ozone Day, what is important? The theme of the 2022 Ozone Day was Montreal Protocol at 35, global cooperation protecting life on Earth. So the 35 years have passed for Montreal Protocol, which is a protocol for taking a check on the ozone depletion. Now India phased out the CFC, the chlorofluorocarbons, in 2010 with the Montreal Protocol schedule, and the program accelerated. Now hydrochlorofluorocarbons Stage 1 have been implemented from 2012 to 2016. Stage 2 has been implemented and is scheduled to be completed by 2023, and the last stage till 2030. So in 3 stages, hydrochlorofluorocarbons have been scheduled, right? Now this has been brought in line with 7 IITs. Those are IIT Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, Kanpur, Guwahati, Banaras, Madras as some of the IITs which are part of it. Now the Delhi NCR region, which is the National Capital Region, has been in light since few years, talking about extensive amount of pollution every winters that occur. So what is established is CAQM, which is the Commission for Air Quality Management, and this Commission for Air Quality Management is actually implementing agency for the central government and the state government of the National Capital Region of Delhi. The idea is to understand the GRAP policy, that is the graded action plan, and this graded response action plan talks about improving the quality of air. Now when this 24-point program was brought, there were various issues that were laid down. Some of the important issues we understand is there would be a web portal. Any plot size equal to or more than 500 square meters would have to be registered there. Dust mitigation measures must be taken. Environmental hazardous substance would be taken. Periodic mechanized sweeping would be done. Open burning would not be allowed. There would be prohibitions for the same. Industrial areas would have their own conventions that they would have to follow. Project Tiger in India had been highly successful. In line with Project Tiger, Project Lion has come up, and it is mainly in the Gir region, which is the home to the first Asiatic lions in India. This project has been implemented in the Gir forest in Gujarat area. The title document is Lion at 47, the vision for Amritkal. The idea is to manage the growing population, scale up the livelihood generation, and how local participation can enhance the development of sanctuaries and the population of lions can be checked. So far, when it comes to tiger reserves, India has around 53 tiger reserves. The next is black carbon. Very important to understand. So ISRO has come up with a geosphere biosphere program. So ISRO came up with a geosphere biosphere program, and one important matter to understand was the impact of black carbon. Now this black carbon has been understood through the aerosol observatories in India, and the trend have been changing. This black carbon is detrimental to glacial areas. What happened on the glacier? Glaciers are white. When you have black carbon or black soot that gets deposited on the glacier, the insolation that falls, the black color absorbs it quickly, and the rate at which the glacier melts increases. So the melting of the glacier increases, which causes GLOF, glacial lake outburst floods. That means the glacier would outburst and it would cause flood in the low-lying areas. So what are some of the measures that have been taken by the government to control this black carbon? One is to promote clear cooking fuel through the Ujjwala scheme, shifting from wood as one of the ways through which chula are run to LPG cylinders, moving from BS4 to BS6 norms, introducing cleaner fuels like CNG, LPG, PNG, and having sustainable alternatives towards transportation. For that, the idea is compressed biogas. Compressed biogas production has been increased, and there are more than 5,000 plants that have come up. Central Pollution Control Board has identified 131 cities with air quality ambit and certain cities which have million plus population. How domestic fuel, municipal solid waste burning have added to this problem can be resolved is an important topic. The next is promotion of forestry. So under the National Forest Policy 1988, the idea is 1/3 of the land should be covered by forest, and 2/3 in the case of hilly area and mountainous area should be brought under forest. Under this, there are two initiatives. One is GIM, which is the National Mission for Green India, and the second is FFPM, which is the forest fire protection and management scheme. Both of these have been brought, and the idea is to protect the forest area, conserve and protect the coastal areas, specifically the mangrove population. So those are some of the important topics that we have discussed. Black carbon causing glacial lake outburst, extremely important topic. Similarly, need to understand the Ramsar Convention, the wetlands that have come up, and also Project Lion, Project Tiger, the major wetland sites. In the next section of this lecture, which is continuation as part 2, we would talk about the blue flag beaches. 2 new beaches from Lakshadweep have been added, and more important topics for discussion pertaining to climate change and the plastic recycling. So stay tuned for our second part, extremely important before your net examination. For your net paper 1 as well as UPSC prelims, these topics are very, very important. Don't miss.